Hello, happy September 28th. Hope everybody's doing well. Sitting here at Dawesville truck stop and picking up back on the letter to the Hebrews, and we're looking at encouragement. This week we're looking at, or this video, we're looking at the attribute of love and how that's a sense of encouragement to us individually and how we can provide encouragement to others. In the last two videos, looking at encouragement, we spoke about faith, and then we spoke about hope, and we shared a little bit about the historical people who the letter was written to. So this video, we're speaking about love, and excuse me, we learned from Paul in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, the ranking order of faith, hope, and love. Paul states that out of faith, hope, and love, that love is by far the greatest, and you can read chapter 13 of 1 Corinthians. It's really good, and he begins the chapter of 13 by ending chapter 12. He says, I will show you a more excellent way, and the more excellent way is love, which pushes us over to the letter to the Hebrews. There are four locations or four chapters in the letter to the Hebrews where love is mentioned, and I would just like to go over those briefly. The first is in chapter 6, verses 10 through 11. It states, For God is not unjust. He will not forget how hard you have worked for Him and how you have shown your love to Him by caring for other believers, as you still do. Our great desire is that you will keep on loving others as long as life lasts. And that's in the New Living Translation. It's amazing how similarly this passage is to Jesus' exact words in Matthew 25, verses 31 through 40, I believe. It's a parable at the end of times when Jesus is separating the goats from the sheep, but those who are entering heaven are the sheep. And Jesus told them, when you do all of these things, when you did it to the least of these, it's like you did it unto me. Mother Teresa wrote pretty much an entire book concerning this passage. It was kind of her mantra in life. It's called No Greater Love. And, I've always been impressed and motivated by Mother Teresa because she looked at everyone as an individual, and everyone who was standing in front of her, sitting in front of her, laying in front of her, she saw that as an opportunity to love on Jesus Himself. And it's just a very powerful book. But yes, the love that we share to others, it will be rewarded, and we may not even know we're doing it. If you look in the parable that Jesus teaches, the people don't even realize that they had been loving on Jesus, because they said, well, when do we see you sick, or when do we see you hungry? So you may not always know, but so that's the first instance of love. The second is just a word of encouragement and a word to motivate us about motivating one another to acts of love and good works. It's found in Hebrews 10:24. Let us think of ways to motivate one another to acts of love and good works. That's also in the New Living Translation. The third location in Hebrews is chapter 12, verses 14 to 15. This is in the New International Translation, or the NIV, New International Version. Make every effort to live in peace with everyone and to be holy. Without holiness, no one will see the Lord. See to it that no one falls short of the grace of God, and that no bitter root grows up to cause trouble and defile many. Again, make every effort to live in peace with everyone and to be holy. If Paul would have wrote this, no one knows who wrote the letter to the Hebrews, but in Paul's letters, he will sometimes say put on and put off. If he were writing this verse, I think he would say put on peace, holiness, love, and grace, and to put off bitterness. So we're to live holy, and we're to live a holy life so that people will see the Lord, and to live at peace with every person. And the last is Hebrews 13, at the beginning of the chapter and towards the end of the chapter. And this is back to the New Living Translation. It says, keep on loving each other as brothers and sisters. Don't forget to show hospitality to strangers. For some who have done this have entertained angels without realizing it. Remember those in prison as if you were there yourself. Remember also those being mistreated as if you felt their pain in your own bodies. Give honor to marriage and remain faithful to one another in marriage. God will surely judge people who are immoral and those who commit adultery. Don't love money, but be satisfied be satisfied with what you have. For God said, I will never fail you and I will never abandon you. And then later on in verses 15 to 16, the writer states, therefore let us offer through Jesus a continual sacrifice of praise to God, proclaiming our allegiance to his name. And don't forget to do good and to share with those in need. These are the sacrifices that please God. I pray that this encourages you, and I pray that you're encouraged by the love that God has for you. I pray that you're encouraged by your fellow brothers and sisters in the Lord, and just by the love that others have shown you in your life. May God help us all to share love with our neighbor, to see our neighbor and our brothers and sisters in the Lord as Christ, and as we serve and love them, we're serving and loving Christ. I pray for you who are on the roads. I rejoice, we rejoice. I lift up your family, and pray for safety as you travel. And I pray that you have a strong sense of God in every sunrise and every sunset, and that you may experience his love and presence daily. I pray these things in Jesus' name. Thanks for watching. God bless.